Hi there, Louie here, and welcome back to Acorn Hill. I'm here in the backyard by my potting table, about to prepare for another project, a DIY, preparing the bed for a garden enclosure. So the garden bed surrounds an oddly planted crepe myrtle in the middle of our backyard, and the best way for us to deal with this dilemma is to wrap it with enclosure that I've already built. Today I thought I'd show you what the bed looks like and where we will tap into an existing drip system so we can extend the water coming into and through pipes. It's going to be another fun project, and I hope you stick around. So we'll see you in a bit. Finally got done painting the garden enclosure 2 days ago. We've had a couple of rainstorms come through, and I wanted to paint this on a nice dry day, and so far things and the final result with the painting job really gives it a lot of depth. When the sun hits it and you get the shadows, it gives it a lot of depth and dimension. Those brackets that I put on the center of the fretwork, good decision on my part. And so the next phase of the project is to amend the soil that's inside. As I mentioned before in previous posts, the soil is made of clay. What I'm doing is I'm putting soil conditioner made of bark chips and mushroom compost. Coming from the backyard, this is what it will look like. Look at this, about 7:30 in the evening. It's cloudy, the lighting is good enough that I can show off the beginning process of the planting that I will be doing with my proven winners, limelight hydrangeas. As you can see, we've painted, and there's still a little nailing that I will do with that fretwork, but now everything looks good. Pre-setting all the plants and where they need to go. There is a process, a method to my madness, if you will, when it comes to planting. I have the initial drip system that I've put. These are the black poly tubing that carries live water where we will tap to. So right now, what we're gonna do is we will attach the 1/4 inch emitter tubing. These are the brown emitter tubings from Rainbird. Down in and around the base of the hydrangea. Now we already have an existing black poly, which is over here, already semi-buried with this big pile of dirt that is surrounding all the hydrangeas in this corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into the black poly using one of these emitters. This is what I call a single coupler. That's what it looks like. So the pointed end goes straight into the black poly. We'll punch that in, and that part of the emitter tube is where the brown tubing will go. So I'm gonna set my camera up, and then I'll discuss with you how I complete the whole thing. Is scratch and disturb the soil so we can lightly bury the brown tubing, rough it up a little bit. That way water absorption is better compared to a caked on soil where the brown poly will sit on. So that should be enough. I found one over here for the black poly. What I do is I have a little punching tool. It's just a 50-cent punching tool that you get from Home Depot, and you just punch it right on through over here. There may be some water that will squirt out, so we'll be very careful with that. There. I have to find my brown poly. Here we go. There it is. That's the remnant water that's already in this system, and you just punch it right through. And we'll clip that using landscape staples. And with that, that's going to complete the circuit. So from here, I will punch black poly, and I will get this end of the brown poly getting stuck and connected to the original black one, and there it is. And that is going to water this entire system, the root ball of that plant. Landscape staples, we secure them in the ground just like that. There we go. And that is how that brown poly irrigation tube works. I have 6 emitter holes all the way around this brown poly. If I put it through, run through between 30 minutes to an hour, we get good drip irrigation at a certain amount for a particular amount of time as well. So all of this have that function, and it is watering this shrub evenly all the way around the root ball. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm not a slave to watering every growing season now. And it affords us to grow a lot of plants without having to spend so much time watering the entire property.
From the start, the original plan was after I build the garden enclosure, we will be planting it on the inside with Hydrangea paniculatas. These are the limelight white hydrangeas that you commonly see on my posts. Hydrangea paniculatas are the type of hydrangea that produce those white, big, blousy blooms. No other hydrangea can match its tolerance of heat, cold, and drought. These types of hydrangeas can be grown from zones 3 to 9, which means it could grow from Canada all the way down to the Gulf Coast. It thrives in full sun. Pests don't bother it, and all it requires is good drainage. The most familiar form used to be PG. PG means Paniculata Grandiflora, sometimes called the Crepe Myrtle of the North, for its summer bloom and cold hardness. It's often trained into a small tree up to 20 feet tall. Rounded clusters of white flowers slowly age into pink. Fairly recently, it has been set aside by the limelight type. This is the kind that I've planted into the garden bed. This is a sensational shrub that grows 8 to 10 feet tall and 8 to 10 feet wide by large clusters of white blooms, tinged green at the top. Currently, it seems like I have two different types of PG hydrangeas inside the garden enclosure. I first got the thicker, fuller ones from a different grower back in the spring, and they've been languishing inside their pots for about 2 months. The last pair, the taller kind, the ones with the greener blooms, I got them from another grower, a separate grower who've already grown them as matured semi-trees. It's no big issue by next year because come springtime, I'll systematically prune them next year so that in the growing season of 2021, they will all grow at the same height, at the same shape, with hopefully the same number of blooms. In the following segments of this video, I wanted to show you what an oddly planted crepe myrtle will look like with the garden enclosure. We were surprised by this move by the previous builder of the property, and we just couldn't remove this crepe myrtle by the time we were able. We didn't allow this bad decision by the builder become our conundrum, and so building a garden enclosure, planting them with choice select plants, will now form a feature in the middle of the garden, but still stand on its own and blend in with the current structures that I built all around the property. If you have this type of situation in your garden, I would love to hear them on the comment section. Share them. Also, if you like our video, feel free to subscribe. This latest DIY was a fun one for me. It stretched my creativity and my ability to adapt as I build this from scratch. If you like this video and any contents that we put on the channel, we appreciate that. Give us a like, subscribe, recommend it to your friends, and don't forget to click on that bell icon. That way you'll be notified timely of any new videos. And I'm telling you, there's a lot still on the cutting board that we will put on the channel. It has been fun doing this project and sharing it with all of you. This is Louie coming from the backyard, and we'll see you back here in Acorn Hill.